Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. I am thrilled today to bring you an author that has an exciting series and a lot of news for you coming up. Her name is Dante Terese. Hi Dante, how you doing this morning?
Hello. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for
Oh,
having
good.
me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you here. I'm so excited for you because I'm going to let you tell everyone, but I'm going to do a just a little bio on Dante so that you can all hear a little bit about her and you're going to want to watch this one. So hold on here. So Dante Terese has a series called The Base on www.danteterese, that's DanteTerese.com. It is being adapted into a film series. Isn't that exciting? So I can't wait to hear all about it. You guys are going to love it. So Dante, you have the floor, my friend. Let's start there.
Well, hello, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Um, you know, like you, I had been wanting to do something for a very long time, and I had been writing and giving friends samples of writing and stuff like that. And then someone just said, do it. You
Yeah.
know, no more excuses. And so I have done it. I'm on my third book now. Um, but the series, the base, started off with book one, and I had some characters there that people did not want to leave. They all said, wait a minute, what's going to happen to the bug man? What's going to happen to Venus? You can't kill them. You can't just, let them stop.
We
And
need to
so,
know, Dante.
yes. And so, then out of that, book two was born, which came out on New Year's. And
Congratulations.
we are adapting it into a film series. And we'll start shooting the trailer on this Sunday, actually, February 2nd. Yeah.
Fant Fantastic. That Dante, that's amazing. So you've got the two books out. And now I also wanted to add it's also on Amazon. So we want to get that in there too. I'm going to
Mhm.
make sure all of this is on there, but boy, oh boy, well done. So what got you started on doing a series, Dante? Like t talk to us about where you got these ideas from and how you got started.
Sure. The series, I wouldn't call it science fiction, but some people do. I would call it very suspenseful fiction with a side order of science.
Okay.
I am the daughter of a research scientist, but he was not military. I've always loved reading, and the series also was inspired by my many treks onto military bases. I have friends who have been on military bases and some of the stories that they would tell. And the series is a cat and mouse game between the research scientists in the military who are working at breakneck speed to try to make a perfect top secret invention, and then the spies and thieves who are trying to steal it.
Espionage, theft, spies, all of this
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yes, good people, villains, all kinds of twists and turns. And then they're not really fighting with the traditional Hollywood arsenal, which is always seems to be the gun, because they are military scientists and they have um, expertise in all different types of areas. And so their arsenal and the list of choices and the plethora of weapons that they have at their disposal is much, much different. For instance, on the cover of the book here, the gentleman in the white lab coat,
Okay.
who is portrayed by an actor out here, Dennis Liverani,
Okay.
he is playing a military entomologist, which is an expert on insects.
Oh.
Yeah, so that can definitely have a different outcome than the traditional, oh, just pull a trigger, oh, yawn, you know. So,
No, good.
and the other two scientists also have very unique specialties. And so this particular military base is where the military sends you if you have like a really, really unusual gift and obsession in a subject like the entomologist does.
Right.
And so you have some strange coworkers, you have some very strange neighbors, and then you have the spies and thieves that are trying to navigate through that maze.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
it gets a little crazy.
I think we all love that. Already I love the characters. I just
Thank
love
you.
them. And Dante, when you're writing, so you've been
Mhm.
doing this for a long time, and you told us a little bit about your background. So as you're writing the characters, let's talk about that. So you start getting an idea and you're writing the characters and you're starting to put it together. Is this from your experience with your background, or is this just ideas that kind of floated and then you just sort of started writing? I think it's interesting for authors, they start writing and then they get these great ideas, and you've got sort of a unique twist on it, Dante. That's what I like.
Well, I think the fun part of writing strange characters is there's a thing in science fiction that they call world building.
Okay.
And that means that you have to make, a completely different world. Like a good book should really feel like a vacation. You open up those pages and stuff, and you are taken away. You can't even remember your dirty laundry. You can't remember, your coworkers sniping at you. You are completely removed from your daily surroundings and you are taken to a very different place. Now, the fun part is when you have quirky characters, because that strange place, like for instance, the bug man, who's an expert on insects,
Oh, I
um,
love it.
you know, we try to imagine what his house would be like. And we all loved the Addams family, how their house was completely crazy and had all these, you know, berserk things in it. But they would just walk around in it like it was normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh,
Exactly.
everyone has a hand that comes out of a box and stuff like that. That's,
Yeah.
what are you looking at?
And we kind of started to buy into it, didn't we? When
Yes,
as
we
you go
did.
along, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I understand that. And you start feeling like you're part of it, don't you? In a really good book, you feel like you're in there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And so basically, designing the world and the house of, we'll say, for example, the one character, the bug man, um, that was tons of fun because
Okay.
it's almost as much fun as like imagining the Addams family house, but for someone who is clearly obsessed with insects and bugs.
Right, right. That
And,
would be an interesting house.
yes, yes. And then the other people too, like they definitely have their quirks, but so the world building part of writing, especially when you have quirky characters, is a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
And then for the reader, I imagine it must really be fun because you can just, imagine, well, of course he's going to have that in his kitchen, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're right. When you get into the zone of a book, you just it's just the best feeling in the whole world. You're just there. Everything else goes away. And
Yep.
Dante, your books are going to take us to a whole new world, aren't they?
Yeah, that's my goal. I mean, I think as writers or as people in the entertainment business, we have to remember that our job is to take people away and to give them that mini vacation. Like they might not have, the 10 days off a year. They might not have
Yeah.
the money for a plane fare and hotels and all that, but the wonderful thing about a book is it's a good book is like a good vacation, and those of us who are writers and stuff like that, that's our job. It's, just that you can go to the library for free, just open it up and, be transported and to another place, another time, and, whatever you want.
Absolutely, Dante. I love to read. I love reading. And my family does, so we all do. And different types of books too. So not
Hmm.
just one, it might be a different type of book each time I'm reading. And then of course I read, for my own knowledge and so forth. So reading's number one. So you authors are so important, right? And so now I want to ask you, how long have you been writing for, Dante?
I have pretty much been always, it's like ask any creative person. You always have at least, 6 projects that you're, halfway done with or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I can always say that about, the writing and any sort of artistic endeavor that I'm dabbling in. But one other thing I wanted to mention about the book series
Sure.
is I was really fortunate to also get them made into audiobooks.
Oh, very good. I like that.
And well, the thing that I really was amazed by is I found this narrator. He's a little bit similar to Keith Morrison on Dateline,
Oh, yeah, he's got a good voice. Yeah.
but this guy can also do like 10 characters. I mean, he can convincingly portray a young girl.
Oh, is that
And
right?
you know, I mean, he must be like the male equivalent of Sybil, like have all these
Yeah.
personalities.
I remember Sybil.
So it was like it's fun as a writer to write a book, but then it's even more fun to listen to a professional narrator and actor, you know, voice those characters and bring them to life. Like you know, what would the little girl sound like, and what would her father sound like, and stuff. It's um, I really enjoyed that part.
That must be a fascinating feeling. So you've done all the writing, and now
Mhm.
you have someone, as you said, brings it to life, each of these characters that you've imagined, and now you get, oh my goodness, somebody gets it, and my books are selling, and everybody get that. What an amazing feeling that must be, Dante. That's exciting actually for you. I also want to get to the trailer because you talked about you're gonna have a trailer out, and you said Sunday, is that right? I want to be correct on that.
Well, Sunday we're going to start filming the trailer,
Oh,
but
filming. Thank you.
if people go on the website, they'll see a short commercial that we made
Oh, okay.
when we were doing the photo shoots for the book covers.
Okay.
And
So,
that was a lot of fun also because I had a different voice person, um, and he was voicing a villain, and just very funny.
oh, good. And that's for
Yeah,
the commercial, right?
yeah, that's currently on the website, but now
Perfect.
we're filming a trailer for the series, which is you know, the first step into getting that into a series. And so we'll be starting on that next month, which is just a few days away.
That's so exciting, Dante. Where are you from? Did you tell us that?
Well, I am a serial mover.
Oh,
At this
okay.
point, and that also gave me a lot of inspiration because the top secret military base where the characters live in the base series is very similar to one I visited when I lived in South Dakota,
Oh, okay. Okay.
where, you know, a lot of months out of the year you're in blizzard season, and after that it's tornado season.
There you go.
Yeah, because we just can't get enough car insurance.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and so, but at this point in time, I live in the Rust Belt
Okay.
in the United States, which used to be lots of big factories,
Yeah.
and now it's sort of an art ghetto, and lots of really interesting people out here, and who are reimagining the space in those factories
That's
to
fantastic.
being, you know, different things, and you know, opening up little used clothes boutiques and all kinds of other things in these places that everyone just said, oh, they ought to knock that down. And so it's very exciting out here. There's a lot of creative energy. Um, in other parts of the country, if you know you're a little too creative, they kind of look at you like you're a little crazy. But out here, we're all crazy and we're proud of it.
Everybody's the same. And you know what? That I'm up in Canada, so
Oh,
totally
wow.
getting the weather thing. I get all of that. And we
Yeah,
have our own elements of fun up here. And but you're right, it gives you a different perspective. The weather even gives you that different perspective. You've had to go through things. A lot of writers, you know, have done things where we're up in Canada, we have a lot of snow. You get writers about, you know, people trapped in snow things and
yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of things. So I think it's important for writers to travel and to move
Yes.
around and to get an experience
Yeah,
so that they can bring all of this in. I mean, it's not all cookie cutter, right? And I think you have to have a challenge in a book, and you have to
sure.
have all these different elements that bring something together, and that's what you've done, really.
Yeah, I enjoyed all of that, and you know, especially when you're in the phase of world building in the books, where you have to say, you know, why the military chose that site for them for the top
Yeah.
secret base because of the very prohibitive weather factors and stuff. They thought it would deter some of the spies.
Hmm.
But when
Mhm.
there's a really hefty payday, that's not much of a deterrent. but
Yeah,
or at least imagine payday. We'll leave that to you, the reader, to get the full story.
exactly.
But when you're actually living in an environment like that, you see how hard it is just to do the basics. And when they say, Wednesday there's going to be a blizzard, and everyone goes to the supermarket and just wipes out all the shelves because no one knows when they'll be able to get out of their house again.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
all of that type of living, make sure you have a lot of saltines and shelf stable peanut butter because you're going to eat that for a while, you know
Exactly.
and lots of cat food because the cat is not a fan of peanut butter or saltines, you know but
Exactly.
but it teaches you what it would be like for them to live in that environment, and then so your life kind of bleeds into the book a little bit.
Awesome. That's well done. Now we have the base book one, base book
Mhm.
two. We're going to have a third book out, right?
Yes, the base book 3 is in the process. And before all of that happened, there was this book that has the spicy title, but no spice: Sex, Death, and Diane.
Ooh, I didn't know about this one. Do tell, Dante.
Okay, so Sex, Death, and Diane, I was one of the fortunate people who grew up in the 80s, where there was great music and all kinds of fun stuff to do to your hair. And but anyway, during the 80s, just a really wild time. I mean, everything was just opening up, all different. I mean, the music was great, such variety and everything. I mean, the kids are listening to it now like it's cool,
Yeah.
which makes me feel cool, even though I'm not their age and I'm not cool. But anyway,
I'd say you're
uh,
pretty cool, Dante.
okay, thank you. But anyway, Sex, Death, and Diane is two best friends, and they are in a small town where nothing ever happens.
Okay.
And they graduate high school, and one of them goes to the big city to go to a college. The other one stays in the small town, and something happens. Hmm.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Yes, but Sex, Death, and Diane was also occurred in the early 80s, which was also the time when we had the AIDS epidemic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember.
And that was a really crazy time.
Yeah.
It opened people's eyes to a lot of things, and a lot of really courageous activists came out of that time. And they opened a lot of doors for people with chronic illnesses and stuff like that by saying, hey, let's get those medications out there, let's give people a chance and stuff. And so they wound up helping a lot of people, not just people with HIV and with AIDS. They really wound up helping loads of people by doing that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and so the book sort of touches on that crazy time, and you get to you get kind of attached, at least I did, to the characters and their friendship and stuff like that, and then something happens. Ooh,
Now, where are we getting that book? Dante,
that's also on my website and on Amazon. That was, like I said, the book that preceded the base series. It
oh,
is somewhat based on my life, but you can't really write your life more than once, so there's only one book in that.
oh, no, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
good. No, but that's important. So we want to know where to get that. So Dante, I'm going to have all your bio on here,
Mhm.
but let's say people wanted to get a hold of you right now and find out more. What is the best place? Is that on your webpage? What's the best
Yes,
place to get you?
yes, on the website. Um,
Okay.
we do have a contact link there, and we also have a blog link there where I post interviews that I've had with kindly folks like you. And so this video, when we are done with our recording and our broadcast, and when you send me the link, that will be on the website also for folks to look at in case they miss the whole thing.
Oh, wonderful! Because we definitely want to promote you. You're a wonderful person. We
Thank you.
hit it off right away, and I'm looking forward to the next series. I want to. I'm just putting all of that out there. You all have to go and get Dante's books, the series, The Base, and we definitely go on her site. I know that you're starting to film the trailer on Sunday. I understand that, or next week. So do you have a time frame for about when you're gonna have it out, the series, or is there any thoughts on that?
Okay, the trailer, the last scene, we're doing the indoor scenes now
Okay,
because as you know, being somewhat around the area, it's winter.
it is,
It's
and it's cold. Oh
yeah.
my goodness, right now.
So the last scene is going to be an outdoor scene.
Okay,
And so um we're going to film that one. Hopefully it'll be a bit warmer and then so that will be after that may be in April when we shoot that.
okay, good. So the reason I'm asking you, will you
Hmm.
come back and visit us again?
Absolutely.
It would be great to have you back when this is all getting launched and going forward, so everyone has a chance to catch up on the series, look at the trailer, everything get going, and then we can have you back to talk about it. Would that be all right, Dante?
Oh, absolutely. And I thank you so much for having me now.
Oh, we're thrilled. I'm excited. I'm getting everything. I'm getting all the books, everything. So we're
Thank
going to
you.
be ready for you. Now, Dante,
Hmm.
as we go, I'm going to have all your bio here, everything ready. I'm going to make sure that we get you promoted. Everyone, go to Dante's site. Make sure you subscribe to all of her social media, and you're on social media everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have that down here on your bio. So go ahead and go because you're really gonna want to see what she has coming up. And we're excited about all the series, the base. That's the most important. And now from there, as I said, I'll put your website up there. We're gonna have all of that. Go ahead and ask Dante whatever you want. Read her books. I think you're gonna really love it. I know you're gonna love it. And from there, thank you for joining us today. Okay, Dante?
Thank
And
you.
for everybody else, my name's Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. Go ahead and subscribe on both of our sites. We really appreciate that to bring you content. And I hope you're having a great day. I look forward to talking to you all very soon. Bye bye now.